right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Too Good For You podcast, the only podcast in California. You already know the rules, how we do it here. If me and E-Man are on the same side of the camera, we have a very special guest joining us this weekend. So please, everyone, make some noise. We got Mr. Josh McCall in the building. How we doing, sir?
What's going on? What's going on, y'all?
Oh, how you doing, man?
Man, bro, I'm thankful to be here with y'all. Appreciate you putting me on, man, for real.
I appreciate that. No, we're glad to have you here. This is it's gonna be a good one. I can feel that. I think we got a good show because we got a lot to talk about, a lot of things to catch up on as running theme for this show. If you haven't caught on in the 3 years we've been doing this show, I'm sure you guys can guess how we know Josh and how long it's probably been since we've had a conversation.
Man, it's been some time.
But yeah, if you want to give the people a quick little introduction about yourself, let's hear. Tell them who you are.
For sure. For those that don't know, like my boy said, it's Josh. I don't get too technical about none of that, but I'm known as J. McCall. I like to consider myself as just a concept artist, designer, directive, but people like to classify it as like creative direction. But yeah, man, anything that has to do with the arts, community, visuals, that's what I'm on.
Amen.
Oh yeah.
I like that. We don't like boxes here either. I don't like putting myself in boxes. I never could because I always did too much.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like as long as you're just, like I said, involved in the arts, I think that's majority of the people that we have on this show. That's the reason why we have them, is because we're all a part of that community in some way or another. Everyone just kind of has their fingers in different aspects of it.
Man, I feel like everybody that we went to school with, everybody that we know, like, does something creatively. Yeah. Like, business-wise, it's still creative. You know what I'm saying? Music, clothes, just every area.
Why do you think this podcast has been so big? I have a 100+ people list I can go down.
Easy.
Everyone I know is doing something. Hey, you want to be on a podcast? Sure. All right. Fuck it. Let's do it. But cool, man. So let's we'll dive into kind of like your story. So can we say that your big brand, BRIQ, being real is quality?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Where did that come from? How did we get here? What was the concept behind it all? What does it mean to you?
Well, for starters, appreciate that, man, for the big brand. At the end of the day, my overall goal was just to be a blessing to other people. Mm-hmm. Like I tell everybody, and they be so surprised when I say this, like, me and the homie, my co-founder, Jared Dixon, when we started this about 4 years ago, it was strictly just to feed homeless people and just to have, like, a support system for, like, the youth in Long Beach. Because I felt like, at least for me, transitioning from, like, L.A. and bouncing around all the time, L.A., Bellflower, and then settling in Long Beach, I felt like I never really knew myself for real, like what was gonna be my future, like, and then like living in that realm of like seeing this type of lifestyle being in the streets, and then seeing what it's like in Long Beach, that's vastly different, Mm-hmm. So it's like you see what more opportunities are available, and to like an average person that I was hanging out with, they didn't know those opportunities existed, Yeah. So. Like the first day we did the food drive, I remember because like I had just lost my job. I had just got in like a car accident. It was my first car that I bought at the time. And I don't know, man. Like I just wanted to go pass out food. I think because like I come from like a big community background. Like my dad, he used to serve the community in a lot of different ways. Like I just seen a lot. We did a lot of walks as a kid. Like I went to a lot of different things. So like I never really did it for the politics per se, but more so people can know like not all like niggas. Like, can I say that? Like all,
Say whatever you want.
not all like, no brothers, black people. You know what I mean? Are like on this type of time. Like everybody got a different avenue of doing stuff. So mine's, I know I'm creative. I know I can do this and the third, but I don't even know like what I can do with that. So right now, I just want to like feed people, help people out. You know what I mean? Because I'm in a good position. At least I was holding a good amount of change at that time. So, that first day we had passed out like, I think it was like 12 boxes of pizza. Like it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't nothing too crazy. And the homie was like, "What made you want to do this?" And I was just like, "Man, honestly, like everybody wants somebody to be real with them. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be seen. You know, like all these people that we walk past, like." I'm a quiet person. Like, it's funny to be in this position now where I got to talk. But, like, I'm a real observer. I'm a real quiet person and reserved. So, like, I know what it's like to see people be left out and to know what it's like to be in the group that could do something about it, to change something about it. It was like, let's just do something. Like, everybody wants quality life, bro. And then, I don't know what made me say it, but I said being real is quality. And the homie was like, you should put that on a shirt, bro. Like, we could like sell these shirts and like use this money to do this. And then I was like, it's not a bad idea. You know what I mean? So I sat on it for a little bit, and then I started playing around with like just ways I could put it on the shirt, you know, just sketching, you know. And eventually like I created the acronym for it, BRIQ. Cause I was like, if I want to do something, like it's gotta have subsidiaries to it, you know, like just like it's gotta be a main thing and then branches to it. Like we can't just do something and get no money, bro. Like I'm in the nonprofits, but not running one. You know, so
They're good, but I don't want to be it.
you know what I mean? So yeah, after that, I started like doing my homework, researching stuff, reading books, and one book I started upon at the time, the name drop Robert Kiyosaki. He's known for writing the Rich Dad Poor Dad books.
Great book.
He had wrote this book called Cash Flow Quadrant. And at the time, like I really wasn't interested in reading books, but like a lot of people that were meeting, that were like in the industry I was trying to get into, they suggested like, you know, just find books that you can relate to or things that are like, you know, fascinating to your endeavors, you know. So I took a liking to this book, and he really gave a lot of game to like how to structure your life just in general, you know. And then if you want to create a business, how to structure it properly. Like, all right, I think I could do this. And that's when I went and bought the trademark. And after that, I was honestly just printing vinyl print on shirts because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just going to do whatever I could do at the time. And yeah, man, it just eventually started to like take off. People were interested in what I had going on. And my whole thing was like finding a way to promote it, but without making people feel like I'm all in their business, you know? Because like, at the end of the day, if you want people to support what you're doing, they got to see what you're doing, you know? Because like how we say about niggas, you know what I'm saying? Black people, I'm going to look suspicious just like when you see all the African dudes up in your email, you know what I'm saying? Sending you spams about some shit like help save us, and they out here building homes back in their country with that money, you feel me? So like, how can I prove that I'm doing something without being like too showy, without being like invading people's privacy to make it look like I'm doing something good to receive something? Like, I'm really doing this and I don't need your money, bro, but like, you know, if you're gonna buy a shirt, this is what we're about to do with the money, you know what I'm saying? And then I had to establish how can we continue to make money and then like take a huge chunk of that money to do all this community stuff, because we still gonna need some money, you know, to flip the shirts, to do more and make more. And that's when it was like, all right, like maybe we should make it a brand, you know. And that's when I decided to like structure it as 25% of the profits we make monthly go towards all the community drives, all the workshops we do for the youth. Even if we don't do nothing, we fund the money to like our partners and stuff like that, so they can, you know, fulfill their events, fulfill their, you know, items needed for these drives and community events too.
Cool, man.
Go buy it. Go, you know it now. Go buy it. That's a great cause, man. That's awesome. It's like humble. It's like you're humble about it. You're helping out the community with it. And I don't know, man. It's inspiring. Look, I got another guest inspiring me.
Man, appreciate that, bro.
Man, kid you not, man. That's awesome.
Shit, cheers.
Yeah, cheers to that, brother.
I mean, Coors Light cut the check.
For real. I need that. I've been trying to get this goddamn show sponsored. But yeah, no, that is, that's really impactful because it is a different way of thinking from most people when it comes to like starting a brand, especially when it comes to like trying to sell really anything, especially when it comes to like shirts and stuff. It's mostly just like, I don't know, I just want to sell shirts.
Coffee,
yeah, I just want to
That's
sell
what it is.
shirts.
Right.
But yeah, kind of having that whole second arm of BRIQ not just being clothes or whatever, but being what you guys also have, community.
Yes, sir.
And I think that is, that's powerful. And I think you were kind of alluding to this, but I want to jump back into it as well. But how Long Beach in itself has kind of helped like inspire the progression for BRIQ, and where you kind of see that, like how has Long Beach itself really kind of influenced you?
For sure. I mean, from everything from the skate culture to so when I moved down here and I started going to school at Hughes, that was like 07, 08 time. Yeah. Because I came 7th grade and I used to skateboard. That was the time when like, you was playing sports, like recreational sports, or you was on teams. So like I knew a lot of people from the area just through circuit and basketball, but I didn't really have like a group, what I mean? Like I felt like I was always like an outsider for real. Like I just kind of fit in everywhere because I knew how to do most shit. Like but I think what really changed it for me was going to school there, because you gotta think about like, how people say underfunded schools. Hughes was definitely not an underfunded school at that time. Like they had wood shop, like all the stuff you hear like our parents talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff that got taken away, they had all those programs. And so like that opened my mind up to a lot, because it was like, what is wood shop, bro?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then like when you go to that, then you leave and you go into sewing class, and then like
that home economics.
Yeah,
okay.
So like that changed a lot for me, because it was like, okay, like maybe I could do something. I actually like this. And then it was like, it's funny because a lot of people don't know, but shout out my boy Ryan Reed, you know what I mean? In middle school, I never wore pants, you feel me? I always wore shorts, weird ass fact.
No,
but like,
I feel like that was a staple for middle school. It's like people either wore pants or you only wore shorts. I swear, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
I went to people who only wore shorts. It didn't matter if it was the dead of winter or rain. They never wore pants. I don't know what it was.
And I felt like when I met bro, he had like that style of like that blended in the street, but also luxury, because he was wearing stuff that I never seen people wear, like, coming from Inglewood, you know what I mean? Coming from Crenshaw or Vermont, like we wearing khakis, you know what I'm saying? White beaters, white t-shirt, you know what I mean? Or whatever stamp hat you got on, you know what I mean? But in Long Beach, you got the Dickies, but you got the rapper tees, the band t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? You got the Doc Martens, you got all the different styles that you would see like on the internet, you know what I mean? If you had the internet, you know what I mean? So it was like being exposed to all these different people and all these different things made me have more of an interest in things I didn't have before. And once I got to the point where I made friends, I started figuring out how to make money, and ironically it was off of like creating stuff. Like I always tell people the first thing I used to make money off of was flipping snapbacks in middle school. You know what I mean?
I would have bought off you.
You know what I'm saying?
I wore snapbacks like crazy.
You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like that was during like the height of like Tisa era and all that.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Deep cut.
So Pyrex and Hood by Air and all that. So like getting into all of that, like I felt like really made me into clothes, but I didn't realize like it would become something that I would actually want to do.
Yeah,
that would lead me to that. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's good.
I think you find like when you're a kid, you don't know what you're doing until like you're doing it, but you're just doing it. You know, like
Yeah.
there's no like pressure to like.
Exactly,
You know?
unintentionally doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that led to me doing, hats to distressed jackets, bleach and stuff, just doing all kind of like crazy stuff, just trying it out just because that was like the height of YouTube coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like all of that was new, and I feel like just being able to be outside too, because I wasn't outside in LA. You couldn't be outside like that unless you was outside.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
and
Different.
like in Long Beach, I'm outside, but it's suburban outside. You know what I mean? Like
Playing football on the street.
I'm seeing kids riding bikes down the street. You know what I'm saying? People is playing in the neighborhoods. You could roll down the street, and it's a nice little supermarket. That you never heard of, Trader Joe's and all that type of shit. So that changed a lot for me, like being able to be outside, exposed to a lot more people, even just the dialogue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That made a lot of changes for me for sure, being in Long Beach.
Yeah. So you would say like middle school is kind of where you kind of got that like initial spark of like clothes are cool, and like
For sure.
just the progression of that has led to everything that it is now, because you do, if I'm not mistaken, you do cut and sew pretty much everything for BRIQ,
now
correct?
as of 2022, I started making cut and sew stuff. Like there's some cut and sew pants, this white t-shirt, just basic everyday wear right now I'm working on that you might see in stores this year. You know what I'm saying? So
Exclusives.
But yeah, man, I've always been like real simple. Like I've never been a dude that was like into clothes and hella flashy with it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna wear like one probably good piece that I like.
Yeah.
Loud. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's my shoes or like you see with this hoodie, like I'm into simple stuff like that. And during that time, it was all about like name brand, so like Givenchy, Gucci, you know what I mean? All these other brands and stuff. But like I realized like young, like, oh, that shit don't matter. You know what I mean? Like I'm wearing something that somebody else for sure got the same material and it's just $8, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm about to spend $100
Paying for the name and
shirt,
shirt.
you know what I'm saying? But I get it, I totally respect it, but that was never like any of the intention like when I started making clothes for sure.
Do you think that like once you got to high school, anything changed from there, or that only kind of just accelerated that same kind of thought?
It changed only because I ain't gonna lie, like I was very distracted, like not to get deep, but like I was like a hella depressed like kid in high school. You know what I mean? Cause like just the stuff like I seen and just the stuff that I was like kind of like battling with. I felt like I was one of those kids that was like struggling to like figure out the double life situation. You know what I mean? Cause like you can't tell people at home what you're doing for real, and then like, but your parents at home think you're doing this for real.
Yeah.
So it was like, and then you were quiet, so you couldn't talk to nobody about it. Like, and then like the only people I was hanging out with like barely knew anything about me for real. I always like to keep my like personal life like very separate. I still got people I've known for 15 years. I ain't never met my mom. You feel me? And that's just how like private I like to keep my life. But like high school, I felt like for sure I was exposed a lot more to people in the rap sense, like in the music world. So like, cause the music I felt like circled me back into what I'm doing right now. Which I'm sure we'll talk about soon. But yeah, definitely high school was just about fucking off my time. Honestly. Like, I was just meeting new people, and enjoying meeting the people I was meeting, and Lakewood was wild, bro. Like I feel like we went through at a legendary time, bro. Like from the dancing that was going on at that time, when Jerkin was out, we had all them dance battles at the school, all different types of stuff that was going on. So like, it really felt like a movie going to Lakewood, bro.
Yeah.
So definitely I would say like I was exposed, but I wasn't thinking nothing about like the future or like doing anything creative for sure in high school.
Yeah, no, Lakewood was a fun, just interesting.
It was a fun time.
It was interesting
I love
looking
Lakewood,
back at it.
It was fun.
Yeah, looking back at it, you're like, what the hell are we doing? Like, it really was just.
We just going there 8 hours a day, hanging out, chilling.
And like you said,
hanging out.
Yeah, like I said, just like meeting the people, because I feel like, at least for me, I came from a very different like lifestyle and especially school situation before coming into Lakewood. So once I got to Lakewood, like that whole situation was like so foreign to me. And like you said, when it was just meeting like everyone and like just getting to know all these different people and who have all these different life experiences or whatever, and you're just learning all these different things. I was like, bro, I learned so much in 4 years of just going to this
Dude,
random
you learn a lot
school.
from a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You start picking things up. Yeah,
That's facts, man.
Yeah,
Great times, great memories for sure.
it is a good memory.
that's funny. But yeah, I guess we can. You know, you kind of jumped the gun, but we'll go ahead and just jump into it. Let's talk about music and how did you get into music? You're a musical artist. I ain't gonna put you in a box, so we'll just call you're a musical artist.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely funny because that's like the least thing that I bring up the most. And like that's like the main thing everybody tries to get me to talk about the most. But I started getting into music once I had to transfer from Lakewood because I know you guys remember the riots.
Yeah.
So like during that time, I was like really doing bad in school, and I'm not gonna just be putting it out there like I was just like a fuck up. Like I just wasn't applying myself. You know, my grades was really bad, and so I had to go to summer school. Which is ironic. I met like a couple people that are my friends today in summer school that didn't even go to Lakewood because you know how we used to have where other schools can go.
Yeah.
So like when I did summer school, I came home and I had like mail from another school from Renaissance, and I was like, "The fuck?" Like, and then my mom was like, "Yeah, like you're gonna go here," and I was like, "Oh, all right, well, I guess." You know what I mean? And it wasn't really nothing to me because. Shit, I mean, what was I going to do about it? You know, and at the same time, I couldn't really argue about it because I wasn't doing well in school, and this could be probably my opportunity to do better, you know, because I'll have less people to distract me, you know what I mean? And I had no clue what this school was about, and it for sure was the best for me because, like, it was a huge difference. Like, you know, like our classes was like 50, 60 students in a class, bro. Like, I went to this school, like my biggest class was like 20 people.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So like my smallest class was like, I think like we had 10 people up in there.
Sheesh.
So I did extremely better. You know?
Yeah.
But I also like got into shit too because it was because people were doing better in school. Those were the people that was doing like outside shit that was like unnecessary. You know what I mean? Yeah, but in that unnecessary, like, doing things, like, I met a lot of people that kind of went to utilize my voice at the time. It was funny because people always used to tell me to go into, like, radio and, like, or do voiceovers for, like, characters, but, like not knowing careers and shit, I was like, what is that, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even watch TV, bro, so, like, what are you talking about, voiceovers for shit? And it was funny because one dude asked me to stay behind because we had this musical studio set up like in one of the buildings at the art school, and homeboy called me to lunch. I'll never forget, bro. Like he called me to lunch. I thought it was so sketch because he pulled this mic out, put a sock over it, and then was like, "Yeah, bro, you ever rap before?"
He said, "Not with the sock over the mic, though."
Bro, like, what are we doing right now?
Damn.
He said, "Nah, like, I you know what ad-libs are?" I was like, "Nah, I actually don't, bro. I don't know what that is." And next thing you know, he was just like, "All right, so ad-libs are basically, you know, the sound effects you hear and stacked behind the vocals. You know what I mean? Like, whoo, whoo, all that shit." And I was like, yeah, like, what about it? And then he was like, "I need you to do some words for me." So he gave me the words, I did it, and then I guess he was feeling it, bro. It was just like, "Hey, man, you natural, bro. Like, you ever thought about rapping?" And then I was like, "Nah, never, you know. Why?" He was like, "Bro, like, you know, I got some good connects. You know, we could probably do something," because I think his uncle was like Crooked Eye or something like that at the time. And I was like, whatever, bro. Like, ain't nobody thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out how to make some real bread. You know what I'm saying? Because when we get out of high school, like, I got real shit to focus on. I ain't going to school, you know? So, next thing you know, one of the people that was in that room, you know, we went to middle school with each other. We ended up developing a closer friendship in their twins. He's a twin of a brother of his. And so next thing you know, I ended up getting close. We hanging out at their house, and their parents were like well off, you know what I mean? Like good money, you know what I mean? And I had never seen money like that. You know, so for me, it was just like, okay, like, this is new. You know what I mean? Like, how can I get to this level or aspire to get to this level? And the more that I hung out with, like, the parents, you know, I realized then, like, this could be me, bro. This could be anybody. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a matter of your mindset and then what you dedicate yourself to. But at the time, it was like, I don't want to do music, bro. Like, I've always known in my life I love music. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I was never opposed to what I do now as far as writing and producing. But, like, I never wanted to be the rapper, you know, ever.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be, like, the person in the spotlight. I always liked being behind the camera, you know. I never wanted to be the person on stage, you know, kind of just, like, people kind of threw me in there because they expected, like, I wanted to do that, you know. But after a good year of, like, working with them, I got real good at mixing. We started meeting different people in the industry, but long story short, we just didn't work out, you know, business-wise, just having different mindsets of how to go get money. Because, again, like, y'all was born from money. Like, and I say this a lot, like, I feel like people who are born from money cannot get money like people who don't have money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just my opinion, you know. Of course, if you come from money, you should know how to get more money.
Yeah.
Logically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's a different mindset from when you're climbing. Like when your entire life is like on an incline and you have to keep digging up. Like you're gonna just go harder. When you kind of already start at a medium level and you're like, oh, I can just cruise. Like you're gonna cruise until you have to start. But if your life is always like grinding, it's a different. Yeah, no, it's a different mindset.
Facts. So because of that, we separated, and it ended up being the best thing for me. But even that was like a journey in itself, you know, because I missed a lot of opportunities of what could have been, you know what I mean, with the music stuff at that time. But I think it gave me a lot more time to focus, too, on BRIQ, because that was all at the same time. Like, my artist contract with them ended the same year that I started BRIQ.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it was a trip.
Like everything happened for a reason.
Yeah.
At the right time, perfect for you.
Sure.
That's what it is. Yeah.
For sure, bro. Like I had my first show, which led to like most of the people that I know today. Like on that ticket, it was me, Ray Khalil, my boy Peterson, and Vintage, and if I'm not mistaken, I think A Mitch too. But dope ass artist, you know what I mean? And that was the opportunity of a lifetime, you know, which I didn't see then. It was just more so like, okay, now that I have this opportunity to perform, people want to hear me perform a record, let's just do it just to see what it does, you know? And it was a great feeling just to see like, you know, a song of yours do well, but then people to receive it. Because that's what I really did it for. Like, it was more like therapy, you know, just like how people, you know, need this time to talk with their boy, need this time to, you know, express themselves or just get off what they feeling. Music was that for me. It was more so being able to communicate what I wasn't able to communicate in reality, you know, because I always said I was a reserved person. I was the quiet nigga, like, in the corner for sure. Like, I didn't say much to people because I just didn't have much to say or felt like I had much to offer at the time, you know, so, yeah.
How ironic it is.
Yeah.
Now he with us now. Talking with us. Talking with all of y'all.
Yeah. I kind of want to come back to the community aspect when it comes to BRIQ, and kind of like what you guys have already accomplished and kind of what you guys want to continue doing when it comes to the community. Are you guys, obviously I know you guys do a lot of like Long Beach stuff locally. Are you guys doing other like outside area as well? And what is that kind of looking like?
Yeah, so I say about like 2020 was the year for me to like just do it. That's why a lot of stuff that I did in that year was all Long Beach based, like the toy drive that we did, the sock drive that we did, the beach cleanup, all that stuff. So that kind of like set the precedence for the year after. And it just became where I kind of just made a calendar and just said, you know what, I'm going to manifest this. I want to do this, and this in these particular months. And let's just do it. I'm not going to trip about how I'm going to get the money, how I'm going to get the partners. I know who's supposed to work with me will work with me. Because the way I kind of go about even with the clothes is like all collection based. You know what I mean? Like if I have an idea, like how I mentioned, 25% of the profits monthly, I never wanted to make like something that was just like we sell this all the time. You know, like I always wanted to have some type of like exclusivity to the brand. So like when I tell people to look at the brand, I kind of like the two brands I throw in to have them compared to. Well, not compared, but like reflect on. In contrast, is Supreme and Carhartt. Because Supreme has always been one of my favorite brands for their ability to be able to collaborate with anything and anybody. You know what I'm saying? From any company, like flashlights to shoes to skateboards. But the quality of Carhartt and the longevity of Carhartt, you know what I mean? Like they've rebranded so many times that people think this is a new brand every time they come out with some shit. And it's like, bro, this has been here like 100 years before us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what I want for this. And like I always knew I wanted to have something where like the people that I want to help, the communities I want to help will forever be able to go on. But how can I set that up, right? So with it being collection based, I feel like it allowed me to have more freedom because like I draw all the graphics for the tees, and if it's not me, it's my boy who's my co-founder. We like come up with the ideas and concepts together. And then the way that we maximize off of this concept or collection idea is we make content. And that's how we started doing the BRIQ community news, because it was just somewhere it was like, okay, how can we engage with the people? But again, I'm not in people's face with a camera. I'm not in a whole bunch of kids' face with a camera. I'm really just doing the drive, and now we just got promotion to support it. Like, if you thought I was faking, what makes you think I'm faking now? You know what I mean? Like, I paid this director to come here and help me shoot this video. You know what I'm saying? So we could promote this for the community. For real. You know what I mean? I'm not getting nothing back from this, bro. Like, I'm putting my own upfront money for this. And then it just kind of, like, turned into where, like, once it became where we had big partnerships, like, the city was coming out, different organizations that help, you know, restaurants and clubs and different people that we've been able to partner with. That's when I started to make it like, all right, let's pay homage to the cities that I come from. Every time we do a drive, let's do it in LA and Long Beach. And that's when it really became like, all right, like now we got something. You know what I mean? Because now we got everybody from these different communities involved, but also like when we go to these markets, when we go to these pop-ups, the name will kind of like have its own stamp, because whether you know it's from doing community work or from doing media or from doing clothes, like it stick, you know. Yeah. So that's kind of been my way around it, my blueprint, I guess you could say. I'm always gonna come up with an idea, but I'm always gonna figure out how can I make this beneficial to like the masses, not just myself. Like not just about the product, but who can I expose to this creative side of me creating the video to this? What kids can I bring on and see, like, this is how we doing this, and then this is the actual event, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like when we did the planned compost workshop that I did last year. That was probably my favorite event that I've done, like, through my company. Only because, like how I said, like, my biggest thing was never getting government funding, because it was like I never wanted to be in a position where I rely on like a big corp or like a big investor to like help me take my idea to the next level. You know, I believe in like community for real. Like if you got a good amount of people that are willing to help you, rely on that. You know what I mean? Because I'm big on my word, you know what I'm saying? If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I'm going to pull up, and a lot of people know that. So your word can't be, you know what I'm saying, anywhere short of that with me, you know what I'm saying? One, I'm not going to call you. But if I do call you, you know what I'm saying, for sure pull up, you know what I mean? And then I'll take care of you. I'll make sure you straight. Like, it's not in vain. You're not just pulling up, wasting your gas to just be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we actually finna help kids, bro. Like, it's actually finna be kids, like, taking pictures with you and shit. And they gonna remember this the rest of their life, you know what I mean? Because you actually doing something that's changing their thinking, that's changing their goals, you feel me? And it's changing the way these different various races that are here view you, you know, at the same time. Because at the end of the day, like, we may all be human, you know, which is very true, but we all different, you know what I'm saying? We all look different at the end of the day. As unfortunate as it is, we don't want to look at life like that, but at the end of the day, bro, we different. So the example you set is very important, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was all it was.
This man inspiring, bro. I'm in my seat. I'm like, yes, I get it.
Love, man, love.
All right, I got a question. So I know you got a lot of events going on. You got a lot of drives. Like, how much work does that take? Like, people see the end result, right? But I'm sure there's so much more stuff behind it, like setting all that up, getting the right people and like involved and all that stuff. How do you even get that going?
Honestly, bro, that's the benefit of it being collection based, or like just the concept, because like I'm not tiring myself out anymore. You know, before I used to do every month, literally. Like, and that was tough because it was like I just found out I was going to be a father. I'm doing events every month, as well as paying people to be here at Marcus with me, you know what I'm saying, as well as paying, like, you know, to go here, go there. And then it's all like an experiment at the end of the day, because it's not like I've done it, you know what I'm saying? So that was probably the only, like, extraneous part about it, you know what I mean? Just having to, like, figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But when it came to, like, knowing, okay, like, this worked, this don't work, this worked, I just kind of let it be the remakes to my blueprint for this year. You know, that's why this year I'm only doing 2 community events. But the reason why I simplified it to 2 is because I'm going to maximize how much I can actually do at these events. So rather than burning myself out, stretching myself out thin, trying to do an event every month, it's able to be done, but why would I do that, especially when I'm the main person that's going to be point of contact for all this stuff, you know what I mean? So now I've created like a better little system. So it definitely took some time, you know what I mean? Because in the beginning, definitely, like you said, like, it was a lot, but now it's not too much, bro. Just call the people you need to handle what part, you know, position, and then we get to it.
There you go.
Simplifying
That makes it sound good. But I definitely feel like that. You can really maximize a lot of effort when it's a lot more space and bigger impact. Even though if it's not, like you said, if it's not so frequent, smaller, bigger impacts are still going to be, the same. And it's less, like you said, less strenuous on you trying to juggle everything with life. And
sure, it gives something for people to look forward to. My bad to cut you off. Like, I think it give you like that suspense time to like wait.
Yeah.
Because it's like, since we already don't do a lot, and then like now it's kind of where, since I'm getting busier just with my own personal like creations and stuff like that I'm doing in side projects, it's like I kind of like it that way, because it leaves it for people to like look forward to something, because it takes away from being able to like enjoy something if you have easy access to it, you know what I mean, in a certain way. Like, if you have too much access to something, I feel like people get over it a little bit faster, you know what I mean? It's kind of like when you eat your favorite food for like a week, you know what I mean, then you be over it for a while.
It's start getting repetitive.
And then it's like, but if you can't access it that much, and it's like, oh, they only here like a certain amount of times, that's some type of shit you gonna plan for, you know what I mean? Or like you gonna tell other people about, so y'all can have that experience together with this group or with this restaurant or whatever it is that it may be. So that's kind of how I started playing it too, because we all busy too at the end of the day, and I'm very realistic. Like, I've never been the type of person that's mad naive, like, oh, like, I got a dream, everybody gonna support this dream because it's so good, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not realistic, bro. Like, it's still a business, you gotta market a business, you gotta run a business, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to marketing, when it comes to advertising, when it comes to even just being on the street, like how rappers used to be just selling their CDs out the trunk, like, you gotta really believe in yourself with whatever it is you do that much, to be able to get people to come out to it. And that's why for me it's always been about like putting my money where my mouth is. Like, forget you putting so much into it. Let me put this much up first so you see how factual this is and how great this is. All you gotta do is just buy some, and you're already helping the cause. You know what I mean? Because the money gonna go to the event. You feel me? It's not like I'm just saying that this is it. So, you know, that's all I really look for. Is bigger than me. You know.
How is your family been help or influence to the entire direction for everything?
Man, I definitely give big props to my mom. I always tell her too, like my dad too, but like every now and then I'll text my mom and like I have like a moment, like when I work with like a brand that like I grew up wearing, or like when I collab with somebody or work with somebody that like literally I'm a fan of, it's my favorite artist, whatever it is, I'll text her and be like, thank you for believing in me and allowing me to do what I want to do.
Some respect.
I didn't, like how I told you, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like my mom was like one of the main people that always told me do something creatively because that's what you're good at. Like something creative, something with acting, something with your voice, just something. But I never looked at myself like, what am I gonna do for real? You know what I mean? And then like I think it's that mentality when you grow up seeing other people talk so much to the point where like you kind of believe it's real. Like you know when somebody would say like, bro, everybody can't be that, or like everybody can't do this. Like find something different for you. I really took that to like heart. You feel me? Like oh man, like I can't be a painter, bro. Like I know somebody's a painter, but like that's it. Like and I'm not as good as him.
Yeah, I see.
It's different. Just like podcast, like I'm for sure the nigga would have been like, nah, the bros got the podcast.
There's room enough for only one podcast over here. We can't do another one.
But, for sure, like my mom just always just reiterating things like whatever it is, I know it's gonna be creativity, so just stick with it. And she was big with the music. Like when I started doing the music, because like that opened doors, you know, like we're going to shows, we're going to venues, like I'm getting paid to come in engineer sessions, you know, or just sitting in writing camps, and that was like shit I never thought I'd do for real or wanted to do. So like it was dope, but I felt like I just needed to do something more me. You know what I mean? Music is me for sure, but like I literally create music just to be the background music to my ass and shit. Like so. You know, because when it comes to business, right, you want to own every piece of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's important. You know, like one of the biggest people I look up to, like inspiration, is Nipsey Hussle for that. Like, you own everything, so that way you ain't never got to worry about money going out. So with it being that we produce the music, we produce the ads, we make the clothes in-house, you know, everything is on our own. So that way we ain't got to worry about all the legalities and stuff with that, too. And my mom was just always for that. My dad too. My dad was just more so the dude that was like, and it's funny. My dad's like connected, bro. Like he's one of the people that's mad connected, but he's like old school. Like, yeah, I'm connected.
Yeah.
Find them connections. I gotta go make them conversations happen, which is respect. You know what I mean? And which made me work harder for it, and that's why I think ultimately led to me like leading these events myself. Like, all right, like. If somebody gonna believe in me enough to put money, they gotta see that I'm willing to put money in. They gotta see that I'm willing to invest or do whatever it takes to make this crack. So yeah, definitely my family was on board. And as far as like my siblings and shit, like yeah, I think though like it took some time. I ain't gonna lie, it took some time because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, and like I really wasn't the type of person that like shared what I was doing for real until I knew I was doing something like grand. So like even with the shirts I was making, I really wasn't like feeling them because it was like, man, we gotta get to another level with this. Like you know what I mean? We just doing vinyl. I know it's better than this.
Yeah.
And that's when I started meeting people who ran businesses, and so that made it easier for me to up my game. You know what I mean? Because at the time I was back and forth, Lakewood. And I was traveling a lot to Atlanta because I was trying to figure out that whole artist lifestyle. You know what I mean? With is this really for me? Is it not? Is it really for me? Is it not? And really, like that kind of like kept me into fashion too, because while I'm going to these different places, I'm seeing different fashion. I'm meeting different people who in these different areas of expertise that I need to learn. And yeah, my parents was always for that. You know, just getting out and discovering, man, because I was always a spontaneous kid for real. Like I'm the type of dude you would see like eating at a restaurant by myself and shit. You know what I mean? By myself and shit.
Respect.
So like my parents always kind of like wanted me to do something. Like they knew like just do it on your own, man. We believe in whatever it is. We know you gonna do it. So like just do it. You know, just have a plan for sure.
Damn.
Word.
Got support.
Yeah.
Good support.
Yeah, for sure. Support is everything, man. Yeah.
For real. Can you speak on your like kind of what you're doing now in terms of like your credits when it comes to, I guess what you said in the beginning, kind of with just being creative or like vision, kind of. I don't know what exactly you call it, but
Yeah, I wouldn't even do it. Like, that's why I just be telling people like, man, like if you got an idea, I can make it come to life. That's all I can say. Like when it comes to me, that's why my Instagram name ARTISNOTFREE. Because at the end of the day, like I know I do a lot. I'ma just let, if you know, you know. Like, but if you gonna book me for whatever, it ain't gonna be free. You know what I'm saying? Now, so like I'm really into, I guess you could say I'm in my phase of photography and like visual direction. Like that's always been the goal. Like I always knew, like when I started taking the clothing serious, I was like, the only way you can maximize it is making content. You know what I mean? And I've always been a fan of that. Like, you know, as far as credits, you know, working with my boy Peterson on a lot of projects. He signed to Mind of a Genius and Red Bull, Malaya, dope ass R&B artist, one of my favorite artists. Working with my boy Jermaine, R&B artist. It all kind of spanned like from one thing after another. Like if it wasn't for me showing up to one thing, that other opportunity probably wouldn't have came, type of thing, you know. But that's why I can go back to music, right? Because when I did that first show, I connected with everybody that was there, you know what I mean? And we shared our mutual respect for each other's crafts. But I told them straight up, like, I know all y'all gonna make it. Like, in the next 5 years, all y'all either gonna be signed or doing something. And, you know, that's the situation now. But I told them straight up, I wasn't gonna be doing this shit. You know what I mean? If y'all saw me doing music, it was gonna be because it was on my own terms. So, you know, now I still put out music. I put out music, like how I said though, to fit the production. So now it's like constructed specifically for things. So with the brand though, my main goal is to focus on partnering with a couple of different people this year for these events. I'm gonna just give you the scoop for the 2 events. I'm doing a basketball toy drive at the end of the year. Okay. And to do as a repeat for Earth Day weekend, I'm doing an Earth Day plant and compost workshop for the kids. Nice. And the way I'm going to be supporting that is with this new TV show that I started called Doing at Home. It's basically going to be like a extension channel to BRIQ. And right now we have where you can go like look at BRIQ community videos, BRIQ pop-ups, ads that we done for like in support of Autism Awareness Month and the Yes kickoff that we did for the kids spring in 2020. So now my whole thing is, how can I make advertisement? Like I worked on the Adidas campaign, right? That was in collab with The Simpsons last November. And just being a part of that project and seeing the back end of it was just like, bro, like, imagine if this was a class, you know? Yeah. Like, imagine if you could give this class to kids, or imagine you could just shoot something like this and have 30 minority kids up in here. You know what I mean? Just to see this, bro. Yeah. And that's when it rang in my head, like, oh, man, BRIQ TV, that would be crazy. Like, a subsidiary extension of the brand, but it's strictly media, you know? And so now the focus is everything that we do is always going to have some type of advertisement or some type of visual component to it. And that way it will allow me to like exercise my like vision and the scripts that I be writing, the little vision boards that I be creating and helping other brands with. Now I can do it for myself. Yeah. And that was really all it was for. I really wanted to work with other people and other brands just to like show like, yeah, I'm really like that, you know? Cause like a lot of people gonna say this, that, and the third, but it's like I've never been the type of person that just like to talk about it. Cause like anybody could say they gonna do something, anybody could say they been about something, but like you can't show facts or show proof, and what good is it, bro? You know, so for me it was, all right, let me go get stamped. Then now when I do my own shit and I present it to other people that I want to work with, I mean, what are you gonna say?
Yeah,
you
there's a track record.
If you really don't want to work with me, it's really just because you don't want to work with me, you know. But if you about good business, you know what I mean, and about doing stuff for the community or something bigger than yourself, then, you know, we for sure gonna get down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Get you start your acting career again, man. Get you on BRIQ TV.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure, man.
Yeah, I'll be the background actor. I'll be the guy standing, just standing, not saying nothing, or like how they always be like.
Man, that's perfect commercial vibes right there.
Exactly. I'm there. I'll be the background. That's fine.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. Nothing too crazy. Just ads and allowing myself to do more art too. Because this is like the first time too that I felt inspired again to do more art. And I definitely can get that to my daughter too, because my daughter's like a big creative. It's funny to like say it like that, because I know people gonna be like, bro, she's 2, you know what I'm saying? But like, I let my daughter draw, I let my daughter watch everything that I do, and she retains all of it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and that allowed me to find the inner kid with myself again, to enjoy drawing just for drawing, not to like do it for something. And when I sat down with myself and long enough to do it, that's when I was like, all right, I think I want to get back into this drive, this community workshops and everything we had going. I've sat a long time now, sat down for 2 years. Now it's time to get back in the field, you know what I mean? Just make shit happen. So I just wanted to start it back with doing some film photography and pick up a new medium too with that, because that was totally new. But and craft my skills, man, you know, because I always knew that I had an eye, but I wanted to, how could I bring my engineering into this? How could I bring my production skill into this, my writing skill into this, you know, and then be able to collaborate with other people who are great, you know what I mean? And then solidify ourselves, not even have to like work with the name people just because, you know what I mean? Because that's cool, but like, again, we don't do this for clout, you know what I mean? We do this because we really trying to like encourage kids to like go for your dreams, bro. Like, you don't have to be seen on TV to be a millionaire, billionaire, whatever your goal is. You know, my goal is just to be happy, you know, at this point in my life, which I am, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing what I love to do for real, you know, so.
That's good, man. I like that.
Respect that.
That's good.
I like humble, so humble. Amazing. I love it. I love our guests, man. Always inspire me, make me feel good, like make me want to do better.
He even goes home and does a full reflection after
after this. I'm gonna text Tyson after. I already know. I'd be like, bro,
I have an idea.
bro.
I have an idea. I have an idea. But yeah, man, no, I mean, I'm enjoying your transition into photos, but I think that's just biased because I used to be a pretty heavy photographer.
Man, you know, I used to follow that.
but no, man, I do think, you know, it's a good, I think I said it in the beginning, but having just kind of an open mind when it comes to being in the arts and not really being afraid to try new things out. And like you said, you can kind of see similarities in every facet when it comes to, you know, just doodling with your daughter, right? Like that can translate into you drawing clothes, and then that can translate into the cut and sew projects, and then the, you know, meticulous handwork that comes with that is like, okay, now I have to go do a photo shoot, and then I got to get my lighting and all this stuff, and then that translates into TV and light setups and all that shit. So everything is, you know, everything is kind of just intermixed.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, I think that's another reason why too, like, you know, you said in the beginning, and why I also just say, like, I don't like saying anything in a box, because there's so much more that you can do outside of that when it comes to, you know, whatever facet we're doing, you know, whether it's podcast, post-production, pre-production, you know, anything like that can translate into whatever else.
That's for sure.
We got going on, but yeah, man, I'm excited to see the new stuff. Man, what this year's.
I'm gonna get y'all right when it's time before the drop. I'm gonna get y'all right for sure.
Here we go.
For sure.
I appreciate that. I guess I kind of want to know too, when it comes to the brand and stuff. What are we looking at outside of the community events that you bestowed upon us so gratefully? What is the future looking like so far? If you can divulge that information.
Yeah, I would just say, man, beyond the community stuff, my biggest goal beyond, like, once I get through with expressing myself, like, visually, everything goes right, you know, with getting placements, wholesale, and all of that, and making those sales. My next goal with that kind of money is to be able to produce a TV show that I'm writing right now.
Okay.
Oh,
And it's something that I've had on my mind for like 3 years. The concept, the idea. Because for a short amount of time, like, to be transparent, I used to have like a real bad drinking problem. Like, when I got fresh out of high school, like, real bad, you know what I mean? But I didn't realize it was a bad situation until, like, I had something happen that made me go to the hospital and go get my health straight. When I was, like, dealing with all of that and meeting different people and you know, how you share your story with other people, a guy that I had met at the time was just like, bro, you should write a book. Like, I think it would be, like, mad interesting, like, just to, like, get that glimpse of your story, like, through a book, through a read, because I feel like the dialogue would be funny. And I was like, all right, yeah, I fuck with that. I was like, I'm not really into, like, sitting down and telling somebody my story and then they typing it out like that. Like, I'd rather just, like, exaggerate it and then make it into a show or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't tell everything, but we tell enough, and then, you know, exaggerate a little bit so the people who do know or that lived it with you, they know.
Yeah,
but, you
exactly.
know, it leaves it kind of open for people just to enjoy it as entertainment. Yeah, man, that's probably the only thing. Other than that, I'm gonna be farming somewhere off grid.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Respect.
For sure. That's
the way to do it.
Right.
That's hard.
For sure,
I would not have imagined that answer. How could you not?
Oh yeah, it was definitely something that's became, like, new. But, like, as I used to tell you, I used to travel. When I turned 17, I started going to Atlanta. I got an auntie out there. Much love to my auntie. She a true hustler. She exposed me to a lot, but what I enjoyed the most was how quiet it was. You know what I mean? Like, it's different when you live in a, you know, a Caucasian neighborhood or whatever, and it's just quiet because, you know, ain't no niggas over there. When you got an area where you just hear animals, and you go outside and all you hear literally is that at night, or even when during the day, like, it's fresh air, it's nothing but greenery. You know what I'm saying? You may see a car pass by every now and then. I won't stand in the city, like, I'll be standing like Jonesboro, where it's like late in the cut. So it just depends, you know. Like, for me, when I had those experiences, though, it made me realize, like, I don't need all this. Like, I've never been a club person. You know what I mean? The last time I went to a club, bro, is when I seen you and you was DJing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we know how long that was. It was a minute ago. So, like, yeah, I'm just not an outside dude like that. And, like, but the more that I got out to do work, I realized, like, if I can have my own stuff to create from home, I don't never have to leave home.
Yeah.
And then the more that I started doing, like, workshops and events with people and meeting different business owners, I was like, man, like, these can be dope workshops for kids. And then after doing the workshops, it's like, damn, I like the idea of farming. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine, bro, like, growing your own food. I mean, you know, we grew up our whole life spending our bread on food that don't cost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, which is crazy when you think about it. So, like, I think for me, the older I got, and then, you know, becoming a father, it just made me think about things differently. Like, what really matters, bro? And then, like, what is real wealth look like? You know, and then what is, you know, what's the word? Subsistential living and all that was just kind of like words I've never heard of, homestead and all that type of stuff. So the more that I started, like, looking into it and aligning with people that was in that same, like, mind frame or mindset, it was like, oh yeah, I could do this. I could see me, like, posted up somewhere where nobody has contact to me, you feel me? If you real family, you on the compound probably, you know what I'm saying? So building your own house on the land somewhere, you know, but And I've always loved hosting, you know, like just doing stuff where I could cook for like the homies or like just have a little get together. So that would be the best way to do it. Is I have mad land. Shit, you know, anybody come through, let's ride ATVs and just chill, you know what I'm saying?
It is. Yeah, no, it's cool.
Real
it's
chill.
Different.
Real chill. Nothing much.
No, well, good, man. I'm glad to hear that. I hope it all goes well for you in the future.
Man, he said it, man. He's going to speak into existence, bro.
Nothing but abundance of land,
For
brother.
sure, you'll know because you see my Instagram
Gone.
not on no more.
He's gone.
I'm gone,
He's like,
bro.
oh, he's out in the wild now.
You see that little user profile with the no image right there? Yeah, that's how you know I'm gone.
Oh, man. That's
For sure.
good. That's good, man. Well, cool. Yeah, man. I think. Anything else you got? I think I learned a lot.
I learned a lot, man. First off, inspiring, bro. Kid you not. I'm inspired to do something now, which is crazy because like I'm not a hard person to inspire, but now I got my like the mentality that you're talking about and that you're bringing up is a great mentality to have, and that's like something that I want to start doing for myself, not just for myself, but like I am also like in my community.
Yeah, of course.
Because you know like. You feel good. You feel good when you help other people.
Absolutely.
You know? So I want to do something like that. So you're inspiring me to get back on that.
Man,
bro. At one point, like when I was into photography too, I wanted to do like a kind of like a book, but like talking to homeless people, like bring out food, talking to homeless, and like really connect with them. Because you know, they might be out there. We don't know their story. They might got evicted. They might have like had like a bad like problem. You know, you don't know.
For real.
Right? But to be able to just talk to them, and like really get their story, and like, cause I doubt when people pass by, they're not gonna sit down with them and talk. So you kind of bringing back that inspiration to do something like that.
Man,
so,
bro,
yeah.
if I can help in any way, man, let me know.
Oh, all right,
You know
there we go.
For sure. That's
hit
beautiful.
you up, man.
Absolutely, bro. Cause it's funny you said it just like that too. Cause I think like. It's wild. I always tell people, like, my life is like a full circle moment, for real. Like, places I used to walk by, I've worked at, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think about, like, moments like that even. Like, I used to be the dude that would be at the bus stop in high school, and then, like, you waiting to go home, and then it's a homeless dude here, and he just talking and shit. And then it's like, oh, bro, my bad, you talking to me? You know what I'm saying? Taking out my earbuds. Like, oh, you listening? Yeah.
It changes up the thing. It changes up the tone.
It changes everything. You know what I'm saying? You really see, like, they just going through something by themselves. So, I mean, think about it. Like, everybody want to act like it's crazy to talk to yourself, bro. Everybody know they talk to themselves, bro. Like, I don't know no person that ain't never had no conversation with themselves. He just having it out loud, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, you know, whether it's substance or whether that's just how he get down, you feel me? That's how they get down. It don't mean they can't be, respected at the end of the day. That's all it is. It ain't neither here or there, bro. Ain't nobody more important than.
Exactly. Show that compassion to everyone, you know.
100.
That's what it is.
That's right.
I'm definitely gonna hit you up though.
All time,
get
bro.
something together.
Bro, my number ain't changed since I got my first. You know what I'm saying? I be telling people that all the time too. Like, shit, you ain't never gotta worry about my number changing. You feel me? Shit, I don't do none of that blocking, none of that either. You feel me? It's either I got time or.
Oh, there you go.
For sure.
Oh, cool, man. Well, yeah, man. I thank you for coming out and talking to us, man. It's been a pleasure, more than a pleasure to have you, man. And
Shit,
like I said, I'm excited to see the future, and man, it's gonna be exciting, and I'm happy for you. And
thank you, bro.
I only wish you nothing but the best, man.
That's right.
Man, bro, for all of us, man, much blessings, more abundance, and protection for sure. It's crazy out here.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, you, man. What else you gotta? Hey, you got anything else?
Oh no, I was like, what you asking me for, man?
You got anything else?
No, I mean, other than thank you, brother, for coming on, really, and like telling the story and like showing where you're coming from, you know. So, it's awesome, man. We're gonna have you again, hopefully, sometime soon. There we go.
Of course. But yeah, man. At this point, this is your opportunity. You can give the people all your information, the shout outs, the plugs, whatever you need.
Well, man, if you want to tap in what we got going on, you can support at Being Real is Quality. That's the tag for everything. BeingRealIsQuality.com, Being Real is Quality on Instagram. BRIQ Community to find us for everything that we do community-wise. BRIQ TV on YouTube, Instagram as well. Just stay tuned, man. I don't do too much talking, you know. So now I'm excited because we talked a lot. You know what I'm saying? So now it's time to make shit happen.
Exactly. Cool, man. Well, yeah, thank you, Eman.
All right. Well, like I said, man, thank you again. Gotta have you on again.
Oh man, most definitely.
I'm gonna connect with you. We're gonna do something.
Oh yeah, we all gonna be dripped out in BRIQ next time we had this episode.
For sure. Oh, no.
For sure.
But yeah, man, thank you again, brother. Thank you for being inspiring. Thank you for putting that mentality, that humble mentality, and being able to just be someone there for the community. So thank you.
Yeah, much love. This the city, man. I'm thankful the city made this, you know what I'm saying? So if it wasn't for me moving here, I wouldn't be able to have this, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to stand on this. So, and it's all the people I met, too, that's made this, you know what I mean? So thank you for having me, for real.
Of course. Yeah. And then, guys, go support BRIQ. Go support it. You know the cause now. You know what it's about. Please go support it. If you want to support me, you can hit me up on Instagram at Emmanuel Tanap. But everything else, I don't want you to find. But yeah, Tyson.
Cool, man. Yeah, make sure, guys, Being Real is Quality. Make sure you guys go follow the story. More to come in the future. Stay up to date. Tap in. Do what you need to do to support the community, because we all from the same area. So let's, do what we got to do, man. Right. But yeah, guys, thank you again for coming out, giving us the lowdown on everything. We appreciate you very much. Make sure you guys go check out the podcast everywhere at Too Good For You Pod. That's the number 2, good, the number 4, the letter U, pod. That's on all of our socials. If you want to support the show, we're on Patreon, patreon.com/TooGoodForYouPod. And yeah, all that support goes a long way.
Run that up.
Yeah. And yeah, make sure you guys go, if you want to tap in, Tyson X Phillip on all of my socials. And yeah, that's it, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.